Alright guys, Bowmar Beast Brooadhead review. Gonna be the first look I have at taking them out of the package, checking them out, and then we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna launch these downrange and we're gonna see what they're all about. So first, if you don't know, Beast Broadheads by Bowmar. They're claimed to be the world's fastest deploying broadhead at 940 miles per hour. Comes with 2 broadheads, a practice tip, and they claim that they're the world's sharpest mechanical broadheads. And I'm glad they added the mechanical broadhead part, because I've got some iron wills and those things are scary sharp right out of the box, and I got a feeling these are not going to be scary sharp. They claim to be the deepest penetrating broadhead ever engineered, and they say they're so sharp they've got finger guards in here. Yeah, that's about really all they've gotten written down. These things are all over social media. They're pretty expensive, 60 bucks for a pack of 2. Got the one right here at top. See if we can pop it out. Okay. So initially, they are sharp. They are pretty sharp. I do feel maybe a slight burr, but they are definitely sharper than your standard broadhead. They are kind of more curved than your standard broadhead either. Like I wear a Rage or something like that, it's going to be straight. So if you look at the blade on this Rage compared to this Beast has kind of got a curve to it. So if that bone evading technology does work, here's the bone evading technology. They are pretty sharp. You can see that these are supposed to bend past any rib bones. Initial kind of perception feels like a high quality broadhead, well designed. The tip I'm not in love with, the point here, but they are sharp. They do feel fairly strong. They're fairly complicated would be my biggest disadvantage, right? When you look at an iron will or any of your fixed blade broadheads, they're going to be pretty simple. I mean, hell, even your Rages, your no collars are pretty simple. These, pretty complicated. When you add a level of complexity to anything, the room for error just increases, right? So let's have some fun though. Let's send some of these downrange and let's check them out. All right, guys, I have seen a ton of people shooting pineapple, watermelon, plywood, you name it, with these Bowmar Beast Broadheads, among other broadheads. But these things are supposed to avoid ribs, so let's shoot some ribs. Got us a pack of pork ribs at the local grocery store. These ones are 2.5 pounds, a smaller rack of ribs, but you look at a hog compared to a deer, should be fairly uniform to what a deer is going to be. So let's go put these on a target. We were going to have 3 spots marked out. Let's send a couple arrows into these ribs. Stay tuned. To pinch, mine doesn't want to go lock in. To pinch that in, locks in pretty tight. Put it on our arrow here. 480 grain arrow out of a Mathews VXR, 29.5 inch draw, 60 pound limbs. You're shooting at about 17 yards. I get that. Let's go check it out. So it looks like they did not deploy on impact. All right. So it looks like upon impact, they were not deployed. Both blades were fully deployed, exiting and entering the target. And we center punched the rack of ribs. And we'll further inspect this here. Let's shoot it at least 2 more times. All right, guys, first arrow down range. I want to shoot this at least 2 more times so we can fully inspect our ribs after we get done. So we'll send 2 more down range. We got 2 more spots to shoot. One more. Tell you what I don't like about these things. Reclipping this in. Obviously, in a hunting situation, they're clipped in until you shoot at an animal. You're not doing what I'm doing. Last one, and then we'll go check it out. All right, so let's go. Okay, I'm not sure how well you guys can see this. I'll try to use my cell phone. But the edge of this broadhead, 3 pork ribs, is just beat to crap. I mean, it is not good. And it really looks like the steel is almost rolled. See that? Rolled down on top of itself. They claim you can shoot this head 7, 8, 9 different times. This is after 3 pork ribs, just pork ribs. So this broadhead, in theory, would be traveling through 2 sets of ribs, maybe even a thicker, denser bone. So first shot, second shot, third shot, it deployed on this one before, halfway deployed before hitting through the cardboard, and more even on the third shot. So that spring is getting weaker and weaker and weaker with just 3 shots and deploying on just cardboard earlier and earlier as you progress. So the older that broadhead gets, the more it's not going to function like you think it's supposed to. Okay. Now, as we check out our rack of ribs, let's go ahead and just get it out of the package. You can see this hole went vertical, missed, grazed a rib, but missed mostly. That is not a 2-inch hole. That's a little bit better. Our second shot went across the ribs and landed right between the ribs. Also does not look like a 2-inch hole. And our third shot went vertical and broke a rib. Did not evade the rib. Went right through the rib, broke the rib like any other broadhead would, and continued on. What I think I want to do is further inspect this third shot, this third rib. Maybe even this shot too. It looks like it did not evade this rib either, this on the second shot, and it broke these 2 ribs on each side. So let's get a knife, let's further cut into this, let's dissect this a little bit, and let's see what we got. All right, guys. Remember, first, second, third with the Beast Broadhead. Hopefully you can see here how curled it is. This is how they went in, but in order to find the ribs the right way, I'm going to go from the back. This side. First shot, raise it. Nothing real to see there. Missed everything. Second shot. So second shot went through these two ribs. You can see this is the entrance right here. Like this. And you can see that it folded up going through just meat, because this cut is not 2 inches. I really want to see what these ribs look like, so we're going to get in here. See, right here, the rib is broken and cut, where this did not evade the rib. It cut through the rib. So there's the rib. You see right here is where it mostly evaded the rib, but did come in contact and break that bone. Right there. Okay. And now let's check the other side. Not that one more. So, same concept here. Right there, rib is scored, broken, bone out, not evaded. Not evaded right there. Where this broadhead came through, it did not squeeze in, and it broke the rib out. And this, you could not have centered more in between these two ribs. So you would only been coming in contact with the far outside of the blade. Like that. The very far outside of the blade. Like that is how that would have came in contact. And it still sliced through, cut right there, you can see. And did not evade. There's a piece of bone from the inside of the rib. Now this time. Okay. So this time, you can see we centered up on the rib and we broke through it. We centered up on the rib, entering this way, and we broke through it. Right through it. All right, guys, Beast Broadheads. Conclusion after shooting a pork rib 3 times. Couldn't have asked for a better test. First shot, missed the ribs completely. Broadhead went vertical between the 2 ribs. Second shot, Broadhead went horizontal between the 2 ribs and broke out both sides of the rib on each side, which is probably what, you know, your other 2-inch mechanical broadheads are gonna do as well. But this did not evade it. I would have liked to seen just a little slice, maybe a knife blade, like if you took a knife and you cut across the rib without actually breaking it out. That's what I would like to have seen from this and that shot. And then when we centered a rib up on the 3rd shot, and obviously in that situation, the only thing this can do is punch and drive through that rib. But the question is the technology worth only getting 2 broadheads for $60 when the leading competitors on the marketplace have proven technologies that have been around forever, and you're usually getting 3 broadheads for $45 to $60? And then when you go into the premium broadheads, you're usually looking at fixed blade broadheads, which are going to crush through that rib just like this did, but not slow down at all. They're just going to keep right on going, right? A lot of times those are 1 3/8 diameters, things like that, compared to this 2-inch. So what would be my advice? Are Bowmar's Beast Broadheads going to be in my quiver this fall? Well, guys, probably I might try to shoot a doe with one because I've got it. It's brand new. We'll see what it does to a deer. But after that, I will not be spending $60 on this technology. 2/3 of the time, you're not going to need this technology. You're either going to miss the rib completely with any of the broadheads that you choose, just based on the angle of the broadhead in your flight path, unless you've got a 3-blade, but we're comparing 2-blade versus 2-blade here. Or you're going to center the rib, and there's no choice but to go through it, right? So you're looking for that one time, that 1 1/3 chance where you go between the ribs, and the broadhead's not going to go like this, and it's going to go like this and go across them and need to evade the rib. Well, guess what? It didn't work that well. So do we really want to spend a premium for that? Plus, Bowmar claims that you can shoot this thing 7, 8, 9 times. I've shot this thing through pork ribs, and a foam target 3 times. It's ruined. You can't sharpen this unless you remove a lot of material. It's going in the trash. 3 tests. Done. Gone. Do you really think you can shoot 7, 8, 9 whitetail mature bucks with this single broadhead? I'd argue you can't. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Beast Broadhead. And if you enjoy content like this, plus food plotting content and going along on my hunts, please subscribe and follow along. Thanks for joining me. We'll see y'all later.